Hello, good morning, and welcome once again to Bits and Banter. We are here to talk about RCB and Rajasthan Royals, the two Royals in the IPL. So the match was pretty simple. Royals batted first because Virat Kohli won the toss, though he didn't feel like he had won the toss, which was pretty weird. And so RCB, or rather Royals, were restricted to 177, which RCB scored in the 17th over with a lot of deliveries to spare without losing a wicket. So one of the things that we noticed in this IPL so far is Bangalore has played 4 matches and won 4. Okay, they are at the top of the table. Everybody is talking about that. What I want to focus on here is that with each match, there has been a progress. They have moved forward in some department or the other. And to discuss that, we have Edward, who's an RCB supporter with us. So morning, Edward.
Morning, Raj.
So what's your thought on that? I mean, RCB and its continuous improvement.
Yeah, so I agree with you in terms of their improvement from match on match, and IPL season after season, they have been improving. RCB is known to be inconsistent, actually. So that is where we see that this IPL is very different. In fact, I couldn't stop thinking from, the Australians when they were at their peak, how they would win each of the league matches and then go on to win the championship itself. That is the kind of confidence I saw in each of their matches in the last 4. There have been very different kind of wins, but as you rightly said, you can see one thing, a common thread is that the improvement is there in terms of how they are getting there.
Yeah. So would you say, see, one of the things which I found was some of the teams, they just went and bought people at the mini auction randomly. I mean, we saw Rajasthan Royals do that with and pay the highest ever for one bowler, one all-rounder. He has been an all-round mediocre. I don't think he's very clear about what he's supposed to do. We'll get to that later. But RCB seems to have plugged key holes which they knew existed in the last time around. So that improvement and that theory seems to be going on. That okay, we need to go slow, but we need to go consistent. Would you say that is true?
Yeah, I would say that. In fact, it was the bowling that RCB always suffered. They would go for huge runs. They always batted well, but they would be batted out every time. So if you see, as Kohli said in the post-match, he said that we don't have superstar bowlers, but we have bowlers who pick their hands up and say that they'll deliver, like Harshal Patel and even this Jamieson, right?
Kyle Jamieson.
Jamieson. So they are really bowling. Not great bowling. It's not like super performances, but in terms of results, it can beat any other team bowling.
Yeah, you're right. Because I mean, I would go on to say that they might not blast an opposition out with the ball, but they do get their stuff done, right? And that's a very good point, actually. That's really what they are focused on. So Harshal Patel, Kyle Jamieson, and Mohammad Siraj, they invested. Last time I was cribbing that Siraj was not opening the bowling. So when Siraj took the first wicket, I went, yay, man. See, I'm right. Not that it matters. Then yeah. So that is the other thing. And one more thing which I noticed, I'm putting this question to you, Edward. Like last time, over many years, including for Team India, in the ODIs and T20s, there is this top 3 that we always talk about. There is a top 3 which needs to fire. Suddenly, RCB doesn't seem to need a top 3. The top 3 is changed now, right?
In terms of batting, is it?
Batting, yeah, batting.
Yeah, yesterday, a little off, but the batting, yes, I agree with you that, you don't need the top 3, the batting goes deep and all that. But yesterday I felt, this was the first match in Wankhede, right?
Yes.
I would have liked if the batting was tested yesterday because the next match is with Chennai.
Correct.
But fortunate or unfortunate, you could see AB de Villiers like, mera chance kab aayega?
Oh, khada. You're right.
Sitting behind the glass.
Yeah.
But nobody else got a chance. Look in.
Yeah. So I like the way Glenn Maxwell put it. He says, this is the best IPL match I have played because I didn't have to do anything.
Still he received an award.
Yeah, and So you're right. See, so what I meant by the top three was that you always said like Kohli used to open, Chris Gayle used to be there, and AB de Villiers. Remember when the Gale force was
right,
there?
Right.
So that was what I meant. And suddenly you find AB de Villiers is at 5.
He's at 5, yeah.
Yeah, and life still goes on, no problems, boss. And
Correct.
you have Shahbaz Ahmed, who's supposed to be a pinch hitter, who was sitting there doing nothing yesterday. He was wondering, hey, pinch hit karunga kya hai? Pinch to karo yaar, hit to kuch to karo. So that was nice. I mean, that I think you're right, because suddenly there seems to be that little bit of flexibility there also in the batting also. Not that, like you said, batting was always nice, but that flexibility probably adds to the value.
Adds to it, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just move on. I mean, one thing I want to mention is your views on our fabulous left-hander Devdutt Padikkal, because I've seen tweets yesterday which said, "Hey, move aside Shubman Gill, move aside Prithvi Shaw. He is the real one." There are a lot of there's a lot of hype happening. I mean, he's just 20 years old. What was it?
He was able to impress the stalwarts in the game. You know, the ex-cricketer Sunil Gavaskar at the end, he was saying that he was endorsing him for all formats to play for India, right? And Sunil Gavaskar doesn't say that only on one odd knock. We have been watching Devdutt Padikkal. He has been playing extremely well throughout the Vijay Hazare Cup, and last IPL he did well. And yesterday also, you didn't see him, you know, like a youngster who's going out there to make a mark. It looked like a man who's been, you know, who is aged, who is well versed with how to go about things with his batting. And with Kohli, he was looking very mature. He didn't look like that young boy, you know, looking to please his master.
Yeah, I love the way Kohli actually mentioned at the end. I mean, in the post-match, he mentioned, it seems the Padikkal was telling him, "You don't worry, you score the runs, I'll get other centuries." He said, "You say that after getting your first man."
Getting the first.
Don't be too mature. It's okay.
I like that banter.
I love that fact. So you mentioned maturity. So Kohli just told him, "But boss, maturity is good, but don't be too mature. You're 20 only. I'm 33. It's okay."
Yeah, I had to remind myself that he is Michelle's classmate, actually.
Yeah. And Michelle being your niece.
My niece, yeah.
So
guess that.
Yeah, so that's the point, right? So yesterday, and then by the way, just one off the cuff record that came to me. He is the third Indian uncapped Indian to make a century.
Yeah.
Of the two, one of them again made it for RCB.
RCB, yes.
Which was Manish Pandey, poor fellow.
Yeah.
So, and the other one, of course, was Paul Valtati. These were the two people who scored, Indians who scored centuries without being capped. So just an FYI that, yeah. So this dude, I mean, so for me, I mean, see, last year, people talk about his strike rates and stuff like that. I'm not really bothered, Edward. The only thing I noticed was after a certain point, when he has hit those clean shots, he's around 55, 60. Suddenly, our man seems to lose shape. He did that yesterday also. He was losing shape in some of the shots he was hitting. He was like, just as if like, oh, I need to score more. Right, boss, head out there. You can take your time. So, correct. Yeah, I think that is what Kohli probably told him. He said, "You don't hurry. I'll score the runs and I'll give you enough so that you can score your century. So enjoy, Muddy. Kindly enjoy, Muddy. Take it easy."
So it was not just Padikkal. Even we were concerned at one point. Kohli started, you know, hitting all those runs. I thought, boss, give him an opportunity, yeah, youngster.
So I think, I mean, I can't read Kohli's mind, but I thought like, I mean, if I was at that point, what I would have done was, because he was losing shape. There were still runs to get and he was losing shape. So Kohli said, "Okay, you chill, man. Let me score the runs. When it is 20, I'll give you your 10 and I'll take the rest of the 10. Don't worry." So I thought that was a very mature inning from Kohli also. And one of the things I see in RCB also is that team bonding you can see. There is that banter, laughter, fun. You can see that, which was not the case. But then we will see when RCB is, although the first game they played, they were put under pressure. But I didn't see Kohli frown. So that was a difference. Otherwise, Kohli will shout at fielding lapses and things like that. And yesterday also he could have frowned. I mean, if you are being a little critical, you can always say that, look, they were, how much were there? They were, I mean, Rajasthan were 43 for 4, I think, in the 8th over, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And they scored 134 runs in 12 hours after that, which is quite a bit.
Quite a bit. So, and he showed patience, actually.
Yeah. He said, "Okay, banao, hum bana lenge." That was the thing said. That is what I found good. So about Virat himself, what did you think of his batting yesterday?
Virat, Yeah, fabulous. How a senior player should play with a youngster who is, really doing well. This is a display of that. He went slow, he went, and you never doubt Virat Kohli's innings in terms of run a ball or whether he can accelerate or not in due time, right?
Correct.
Unless he gets out, actually. Suddenly, if he gets out, nothing you can do about it. But you always know he can do that. But then
Yeah.
the way he accelerates suddenly from gear 1 to gear 4 is something like amazing, actually. And
Yeah,
that
I mean, I'm used to that automatic gear shift. No, I just press the accelerator, whee, like that it goes.
it goes up. And that will be a lesson for Padikkal. It is not
Yes.
about just
Yes.
hitting out, but that will be a lesson, actually.
Yes. So see, there are some partnerships which actually make a lot of, takes people to the next level. The one of the things I remember very vividly, which we have talked about, Edward, offline many times, is Rohit Sharma going to Mumbai Indians and suddenly changing.
Yes.
The Tendulkar effect there.
Yeah.
So I think this is something that I'm seeing here. Virat Kohli and this Devdutt Padikkal, who's coming out of nowhere. Who was the other day he was sitting around and sort of probably watching wide-eyed, hey, IPL karke baitha tha ghar mein, and suddenly he's playing. Right. I think that is a brilliant thing. And one more thing I want to point out, Edward, in the Virat Kohli innings, somehow it reminded me of what happened last year. Our man was scoring runs, but he was not going beyond. He was getting out. I mean, anybody can get out, not a big deal, right? On a day, you can get out to a brilliant ball, fabulous catch. That momentary brain fade can happen. All of us have. It happens to every player, every person. In this case also, it was almost like he was going. Suddenly, he hit one shot or something like that, and suddenly everything changed. Last year, if you remember, same thing happened. Our man hit 2 fours in a super over, and then another Virat Kohli started batting. Remember? I mean, I was reminded of that. I said, okay, this is interesting.
Sometimes he just says, I thought I should go slow initially and then I had to go out. It's like as if the bowlers don't matter. He has his plan and he does what he wants to do, irrespective of who's bowling and all that. Yeah. So
I remember this conversation I was privileged to have with the Master Blaster himself, who said, look, when I'm in the zone, I don't look who's bowling. Doesn't matter. I'm looking at the ball, man. Who cares about who has the ball? It is fine. So this guy seems to be like that. Now coming to, so we have discussed the winning team, obviously, because you are an RCB supporter. What about the other guys? Yeah, the other Royals. What's happening to those guys?
Well, Rajasthan Royals, I don't know. There's nothing. So that's what, again, I heard yesterday. Between the two Royals, one is really being royal, the other is actually challenging, right?
Yeah.
Real challenging for Bangalore.
Yeah.
So if you see the way Samson, the way he reacted in the post interview, he was just smiling and laughing. Kuch nahi kar sakte, sab maya hai types,
Yeah, type. Yeah.
He has just given up. I think they did that pretty early into the RCB innings. Yeah. So I want to ask you, how else you think they could have approached this game to make it more interesting or challenging?
I don't think they came with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I don't think they came with a plan. I would be surprised if they did. They were just going through the motions. You saw the changes. They brought in Shreyas Gopal, who is a Karnataka teammate of Devdutt Padikkal. Now, he has played him umpteen times.
Yeah.
And you saw the hug, that warm hug that Gopal gave Padikkal after the century.
Where
they are mates here and they know each other well. So Padikkal would not be hampered. So they brought Shreyas Gopal thinking he has a matchup over Virat Kohli. Kohli and AB de Villiers. AB de Villiers ghar mein baitha hai. Oh, bahar hi nahi hai. So what are we talking about? You need to bowl according to the plan on that particular day. So your ball, if anything else, the Chetan Sakaria probably swings the ball a bit with the new ball. Wo to nahi hua kal, wo bhi nahi hua. So, and Chris Morris seems to be all over the place. So he's not sort of bowling to, doing anything specific. I don't think they had the personnel yesterday in the 11 to contain somebody who was going, they didn't even go berserk, as you rightly said. They were just playing percentage cricket and they didn't have answers to that. And the field it is not as if they were trying to bowl one side of the stump. It's not as if they had any plans. So they bowl one side of the stump. If you remember, Virat Kohli was being fed out on the leg stump. He's like tick four. He was getting free runs. Without doing anything, he was getting runs. And Devdutt Padikkal, of course, was in the initial 6 overs. So I think they lost the match in the 6 overs itself. I don't think it went beyond that.
Yeah, this hype of Shreyas Gopal getting Virat's wicket did not work.
Yeah.
Morris again trying to, usually ex-RCB players do better against RCB.
Yeah.
With a vengeance. But yesterday, Virat Kohli seems to be in a vengeance. He went after Morris and Shreyas Gopal, especially.
Yeah. So no, my point is, see, Edward, forget the vengeance part. You need to have a plan. So I think Rajasthan Royals last year, we talked about how they were party poopers for other teams. This year, I don't know. I'll be pleasantly surprised. I hope they do, because they only played 4 matches. They still have 10 more. Because they don't have the personnel. Ben Stokes is missing today, and Sauce Jofra Archer, who were key last time.
Yeah.
So though these two going missing, I don't think they have the personnel right now to sort of make it. And for some weird reason, guys who actually did well last year, they are now nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Karthik Tyagi, I don't know where he is.
Where he is, yeah.
Yeah. And then they have Mayank Markanday, who's actually a good spinner. He has played for Mumbai. He knows Wankhede. He was sitting out. Forget matchups. Look at cricketing logic is my point. I mean, like you said, I don't believe in this matchup nonsense. It's computer generated, and computers really don't know how people think. So I mean, I think they have missed some serious tricks. And like you said, Sanju Samson probably was handed captaincy too early. And yesterday I was thinking, I had 2 thoughts in my mind. I'll mention both. I was thinking somewhere in between that, look, what happened to KKR and Dinesh Karthik could just happen again last year, could just happen again with RR.
Interesting. Actually, you're right. I agree with you. Yeah.
So you might get Josh Butler, have Josh Butler becoming captain, because he has captained England in the absence of Eoin Morgan. So I don't know. I mean, I find it a bit thing. I mean, maybe I'm ahead of my times, but then that's the thing. And the second thought I had is that so we are all hoping that RCB goes all the way, not because of anything. We are fans. I mean, I love watching Kohli back, but this team seems to be energized.
Yeah.
Assuming they go all the way, I mean, it'll be fun to have an RCB versus ex-RCB match. There are enough out there.
Enough.
So yeah. So any other points, Edward, about yesterday's? Otherwise, we'll go to today's match.
Well, I guess that's about it. I wish Shivam Dube did well for them. I wish David Miller, he got out to Siraj, who bowled fantastic yesterday. Siraj was at his best, so we have to mention Siraj actually.
Yes, correct. So actually, Ashish Nehra, he actually made a point in one of the shows that in terms of only skills, Ashish Nehra believes that Siraj is ahead of Bumrah, which is a humongous compliment.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. Yeah. So
they're doing well. Yeah.
Yeah. So he shows that, see, that change that happened last year was when Siraj was always being brought in as the first change bowler, and he used to go for plenty. So giving him the new ball was, I think, a masterstroke that these guys said. I mean, I can always claim I was yapping about it for a long time, but my yapping doesn't make a difference. Now they need to give the ball to him. How does it matter?
Someone heard you, Raj.
Possibly. Hopefully.
Because I remember you mentioning this.
Yeah, we can dream about it, if nothing else, and be happy. Anyway, coming to today's match, today we have, what do we have? We have another challenge, Punjab Kings versus Mumbai Indians.
Yeah.
Now, what's your take on that, quickly?
Punjab. Again, as I said, one of the teams that I thought will make to the playoffs, but have not been playing to their potential. One more captain who is looking lost. I even showed the picture, as to how dejected he looks. He doesn't seem to be having a clue of what's happening around him. He actually suddenly feels like he needs a vacation, maybe the bio bubble, so many things happening around him. But he just seems to have lost his plot.
Yeah.
So, and Mumbai Indians, you know them. They are like, the underdogs. They can always come back in this later half of the tournament and then be up there in number 1, 2, or 3. Correct. So I would say again, Mumbai will win over Punjab today.
So I mean, I'll just say 2 things, Edward, to add to what you said. One, I think KL Rahul just needs to sit down quietly for a thought and say, okay, let me focus on batting. My captaincy will improve. Or I think that is the best, because he's a batsman, and he probably needs to get off the wicket keeping this thing and hand it over to Nicholas Pooran, and just so he has 3 roles to play. See, when you have too much on your plate, what do? You give away something to somebody else, right? That's the easiest thing. So I mean, if at all somebody is listening, by God's grace, I think that's what he needs to do. He just needs to take at least one part of this out of the game and say, okay, let me bat first. I'm not bothered about keeping. Somebody else can keep. Pooran is there. He's a full-time member. There is Prabhsimran also, who's also a keeper batsman. So we have riches. It's just that he needs to sort of decide, okay, I'm letting go of this. And like you said, Mumbai, yes, Mumbai does have its challenge because suddenly they are looking like one-trick ponies in the bowling department because you have the two bowlers and Rahul Chahar who are doing well. The other guys seem to be a little off, but then I think they will come back. And one more final point before we wind up, Edward, I just wanted to bring it to your notice that RCB's future matches, they're playing 4 matches in Ahmedabad and 5 in Kolkata. That's it. Okay. And 1 more in Mumbai. The next match is in Mumbai. And then 4 in Ahmedabad, which the wickets should suit them. And 5 in Kolkata, which definitely suits them.
Oh, okay.
So you can smile. So on that happy note that you saw, we'll call it a day. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay masked. And if you don't need to go out, please don't go out. And we'll see you soon. Bye. Bye, Edward. And thanks for being there.